Welcome into the PHNX Suns pregame show brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app. When you sign up using the code PHNX after placing just a $1 bet on any NBA team to score a point, you are going to win $100 in free bets instantly. It's that easy. When your team scores, you score. I'm Lindsey Smith. That's Saul Bookman. That's Espo. Guys, how are ya?
Good. I feel like I'm sitting awkward in this seat. Like I have ILS. You know what ILS is?
No.
Imaginary lat syndrome. Like I can't put my arms all the way down.
I've literally never heard of that before in my life.
You ever see dudes walk around and they're like this?
Yeah.
But they're really just chunky.
I didn't know there was a name for it.
They don't really have lats. They're just fat.
So then it's not imaginary for you?
That's what happens to me. I just walk around like I'm swole, but I'm just swole because of all these rolls up underneath my man boobs.
Espo, how you doing?
I don't have anything imaginary going on with me, so I guess that's good.
Yeah,
I don't have any imaginary syndrome, so.
I mean, maybe some imaginary friends. Those are kind of cool.
Can I share some big news, though, before we get into this?
Big news.
Absolutely.
Big news. We have an award winner amongst us. Did you know that?
I don't.
We have an award winner amongst us.
I mean, I guess it depends on what we're talking about.
Just happened.
Somebody is
not the old news that you guys won stuff.
Somebody's about to be set up for failure.
Can we get that image up there? Look at that. Sexiest fan of the year.
Oh
Eat your heart out, everybody. Mr. Orange, eat your heart out. Every other fan. Sexiest fan of the year.
You couldn't even update the graphic to say your name on it instead of Paul Rudd. What the hell?
Well, you know.
When
I
you
love
told me
Paul
before
Rudd.
the show that you had a surprise that I could not know about, that was the furthest thing from my mind.
As well it should be.
It was the furthest thing from everybody's
Who in the
mind.
world would think that when somebody
my
says
goodness.
that?
I mean,
I told Espo, I was like, Espo, really, you're going to put yourself on the cover of that? He goes, when you're making the graphics, you can do whatever you want. I said, oh, okay.
I said, I don't see anybody else making pregame graphics, so I'm going to do it. It was a big flex on my part.
well,
No pun
congratulations,
intended.
Espo.
Congrats on your award.
Congrats.
You're welcome.
Does that mean we need to call you big time now as well?
No, I'm just going to get a giant printed out version of the cover and put it here in the studio.
Even better.
I'll sign a couple copies for you guys, too. So.
Thank you.
You're
so
welcome.
Kind.
Cool.
You're welcome.
The street value of that
Wait
is
for
minus 2
Christmas.
cents.
All right. Well, we also have a special guest joining us, and this time it really is a special guest. We've got Flex Appeal.
Flex Appeal!
Why don't we get the horns? Why don't we get the
In
horns?
the house.
Why don't we get the horns, Jacob? Huh? Where you at on the horns?
Jesus. There we go.
Hey, there we go.
Better late than never.
My peoples. Hey, I need a copy of that, Espo. Sign.
You got it.
Dude,
Signed.
you really don't want a
Signed
copy
to
of
you.
that, bro.
Now I'm actually sending that out to Jersey for Flex. I'm going to print one.
Oh, my God.
You're getting one, my friend.
God. Flex, how you doing?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
What are you hearing in Sun's world? What do you got for us,
Oh,
Flex?
Man. Yeah, I don't even want to get into it, man. I don't want nobody in my mentions tonight. I'm tired.
Oh, shit, my bad.
Oh, there you go. See, already.
Hey,
You start
honestly,
talking,
like, I really do have to take this. I am so sorry.
Oh, no.
I know. It's so bad.
do your thing.
Come on
This
in,
is
Espo.
great.
It's like nothing happened.
It's like nothing happened. Well,
That's like the third time he's done that on this show.
has it?
Yes, you were gone. He did it like twice. Well, you know, just gotta take
He's
this.
like Wojo, man. He's like Wojo right now, huh? You getting
Seriously.
calls
Yeah.
right on the show.
It won't be anything beneficial to us, though. Don't worry about it.
I wonder what it's like being so important. That would be a
Right,
dream.
Flex from a basketball standpoint. Obviously, DeAndre Ayton has missed 3 of the last 4 games. Going to miss tonight as well. What can you tell us? What are you hearing in terms of it? I know there's been some weird speculation, but what are you hearing in terms of DeAndre Ayton?
He's got a leg contusion. Really, that's what I'm hearing. He's got a leg
Surprise! They're
contusion.
telling us the truth.
I know, right? Who'd have
Yeah,
thought?
I mean, real talk. I've been in on this, like asking the same questions, and I'm getting the same answers. He's got real leg contusion. He came back a little early. Thought he could play through it. After that first game, it was still sore, and they're just being very cautious. And both sides are being cautious, rightfully so, right? I mean, DA is going to be safe after what happened with the contract stuff. It's only right to be safe. You don't want to play on a hurt leg. and cause another injury. And I think the Suns are okay with that too. They're saying, hey, we don't want our big guy playing on a leg contusion where he can overcompensate and hurt something else, especially for big men, man. Those leg injuries are weird. So he's day to day, man. I think he'll miss tonight and he'll have a shot for the next game. I think, what's that? When's the next game? Friday? Friday, Memphis, right? So, yeah, that's pretty much it, man. It's a real leg contusion. I don't think I'm hearing all the other stuff y'all hearing, but yeah, I'm not subscribing to that.
Well,
I think it's just literally just taking it easy.
And when you think about it too, the fact that he did not get paid at the beginning of this season probably plays into him being a little bit more overly cautious as well, because if he came back too early, had something major happen to him, that devalues the amount of money that he can make after the season is over.
Exactly.
And if I'm DeAndre Ayton, I'm like, I'm sitting out until I feel 100% healthy, not to be a jerk, but because my livelihood, my career really does rely on it at this point.
Exactly. You didn't give me the bag, so I'm not gonna risk my future.
Exactly.
Those business decisions become real quick.
And I don't blame him 100 at all.
Say, Scottie Pippen did the same thing. We saw that in The Last Dance where he didn't get paid, and he was like, you know what? I'm not going to ruin my off season. I'll get the surgery during the season, and then I'll come back whenever I damn well please.
You don't get access to this is not an out of context quote. You don't get access to my body and my physicality and to potentially harm it in the future if you're not going to pay up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. No.
And guys, look at Colin Sexton right now. I mean, that's the epitome of what we're talking about. A guy that could have got a contract extension like DA, it didn't work out, and the guy just tore his meniscus. You know, so this is now we're uncharted territory now. If I'm DeAndre Ayton and I'm his team, unless I feel 200%, damn 100%, I got to be feeling extra good. I mean, I'm just not going to risk playing on anything that's sketchy during the contract year. They could have taken care of that a couple weeks ago, and we wouldn't probably. Listen, I'm going to say if it's a leg contusion, I think if DA had a contract, he'd probably play through this. But you know what I'm saying? He doesn't. So that's the way it goes.
How it goes, yep.
Let me ask you about another big man that's up for a contract. Is Frank going to get the max?
Frank is my boy right now, man. Listen, Frank Kaminsky, God bless Frank Kaminsky, man. I mean, listen, he's playing his butt off, man. And I love what I'm seeing. Super happy for him too, man. I mean, this guy's a pro, man. This guy plays his butt off every night. He's always ready. Consummate pro, comes in, does a job. So we're lucky to have Frank, man. I know people joke around about Frank, but he's a real ball player, man. And in certain spots, he can win you some basketball games. I mean, last couple games without Frank, we'd be in trouble.
Absolutely.
So yeah, good for Frank, man.
All right, before we get too ahead of ourselves, let's take a look at the injury report for the rest of the players on the Suns team as well as the Trailblazers. No injuries for the Trailblazers. Landry Shamet will not play tonight. He was listed as doubtful earlier today. Monty Williams confirmed at pregame media availability that he is not going to play tonight, out with a right foot contusion. So that's your injury report for tonight's game against the Trailblazers.
It was really weird. The Trailblazers on their media guide for tonight, their media notes, had their injury report and it said TBD.
Right, I saw
and
that.
then nobody never listed anything else anywhere confirming or denying anybody was hurt.
Well, and he's not on the injury list or report, but Damian Lillard is battling a little bit of an injury. So last week he irritated that ongoing abdomen issue he's been having for years now. And a lot of people are saying that they've seen kind of a drop off in his production over this past week, and they're blaming it on that irritation of that injury. So
he's blaming it on the refs. You saw him yesterday. He was not happy about the refs. And honestly, I know he wasn't an egregious, he wasn't egregious about trying to take advantage of foul calls like a James Harden was or, and other dudes, but he still did take advantage of those foul calls. And so for him to come out and be like, well, I don't like the way the refs are refereeing. I like the way the refs have handled everything. It's the games are a little bit quicker. They don't blow the whistle on every little tic-tac foul. And I appreciate that very much because I was so frustrated with the way games. You basically were watching a glorified free throw contest in some games, especially when James Harden was playing, and nobody wants to see that. I don't care about that. I want to watch some good ball, and if they can get to this point where they can finally eliminate the just take a foul rule, it would be great.
So he wasn't blaming it on Wilson. He was blaming it on the refs. All right. It must be nice to have like a chronic injury where you can blame. Like, oh, I re-aggravated that, when things aren't going well. Re-aggravated that.
Chronic injuries?
I have an ulcer every day. It's sitting right next to me. Hey.
I got a pain in the ass. It's right next to me, too. So.
I didn't hear you, Espo. It doesn't matter. Sound the horns. There we go.
Espo, you want to tell us about the favorite for tonight?
Sure, let's throw that graphic up. It's the favorite brought to you by our friends over at DraftKings. The Suns, a 5-point favorite tonight. I'm not feeling this one. We'll get into it in our picks, but I think this is going to be closer than a 5-point game, to be honest.
I think it's just going to be barely closer than a 5-point game, but I do believe that the Suns will not cover the spread.
Flex, what are you feeling?
Yeah, I don't think they cover the spread. I think they win the game. I think I don't think they're going to cover, man. But I think they are going to be comfortable at the end. There'll be some free throws and stuff, and they'll probably just barely cover. But I think the Suns are going to win.
It means so if the Suns are -5, which means that they are favored to win by 5 points.
Okay.
Okay. If you cover the spread, that means the Suns will win by at least 6.
Okay.
If the Blazers cover, then that means that they've fallen in between that range, less than -5, but over or
Yeah, so they'd either lose by 5 or less than 5 or win the game. You know what, Saul? We should have like an explainer video series on the spread.
I brought this up for you guys a long time ago. I need a 101 sports betting for dummies.
If only a thing like that has not been in the works for like 2.5 months, we would be showing it to you. But we will have one. We will have one. This is a promise to America. This is a promise to you, PHNXers.
All 12 of you of America viewing right now.
You will have a gambling explainer no later than Friday this week. And you can take that to the bank. How do I do the presidential kind of,
You can take that to the bank. Elon Musk back in the chat, speaking of taking to the bank. He said, here it came from Cards live stream to Suns. That's right. We got you covered at PHNX.
This is where the real show's at, baby.
By the way, thank you for the support.
$1.99 closer to Saul's wedding.
Hey-o.
Hey, all right.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know what to say to that. I said a million times, I've already paid that thing off, so this is all a money laundering scheme on Espo's
We're trying to pay you back, all right?
Okay.
All right. So now that I understand covering the spread a little bit better, shall we get into our picks?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's do it. Pull them up.
Flex, we're sorry we didn't get you in the graphic, but we'll ask your pick here as well. We got Gerald, Suns by 10. So what was your pick there?
By 4.
I say by 1. I think we get a Devin Booker buzzer beater. And Lindsey, as always, I don't get this. 145 for the Blazers, huh?
She's playing Price is Right. She's playing. Hold on, 145. What was it? I don't get that one. What's the 145?
She thinks that they're going to win by 145 points.
Oh,
Flex.
She's doing the Price is Right thing. She's like trying to, So that's what you're doing, right, Lens? You like, I'm just going to go.
She's overbidding. That's like the opposite of the Price is Right. You're supposed to bid $1, right?
Right.
No,
that's the opposite. It's the opposite. You're right.
Lindsey never sees the graphic. That's half the fun, Flex. So
I got Suns right on the money. They're gonna hit the line. It's gonna be they're gonna win by 5. So
we gotta push.
Gotta push. Yeah, they're not gonna cover, but they're gonna push. Yep.
There you go. All right.
I think if I had to make a real pick, I'm gonna go in between Flex and Gerald and call it 7.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
All right, that's cool.
I like number 7. I think it's good, especially the Trailblazers coming off a back-to-back.
Lindsey, you're gonna win tonight. I'm putting money on the Suns to win by 7 tonight because it always happens. I'm gonna say people like you. What I'm trying to say is, you don't really understand the odds thing, right? And then bang, every time I speak to someone like that, they end up hitting. So
like beginner's luck.
Yeah, one of them things. Yeah, like I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy looking at spreads, and somebody would just be like, "Oh, they're gonna win by 9," and then I'm like, "Okay," and then they win by 9. I'm like, "Damn." How'd that work? But
Well,
Suns by 7.
I'm just gonna put it out there. I don't want to take any responsibility if you lose that bet, but I want to take all the responsibility if you win that bet. So
That sounds about right.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
If I win,
Just
lunch
want all the
on
positives, none of
me.
the negatives.
Lunch on me if they win by 7 and I hit. I'll order y'all some pizza.
Oh, look at that.
Perfect.
Look at that.
All right. Shall we go in a little bit more in depth as to why we made those picks?
Sure.
How you think tonight's going to kind of play out?
I like the matchup. I like the matchup the first time they fared against each other.
That worked out real well.
That did not go very well at all. But I do like the fact that the Blazers are on the second leg of a back-to-back. They're coming here to Phoenix. The Suns know that if the Blazers play well, they can whoop their ass. So you have to get back up for those games. Dame isn't playing as well as he has. So I think those all line up. I think the Suns are in a better groove of late, and they'll just play better basketball than the Blazers overall tonight and win, I think, relatively easily. But I don't like this trend of them kind of blowing leads. I think that kind of continues tonight, and they'll win by 4.
I got a feeling that we're going to see a Dame Booker shootout tonight. Just a feeling that these two guys are going to go mano a mano tonight. And, Devin started to feel it a little bit. I think he's going to be hot early. He's going to take some of those shots that Dame's kind of known for. And that's going to get Dame's engine going. And we're going to get into one of those duels between two stars, which is what the NBA is best and known for, is when you get two great stars going back and forth. I think we're going to get that tonight between these guys.
I'm going to go back to this because I say it multiple times. I feel like we're still waiting for Devin Booker to take that next step into superstardom. I think he's a star. I don't think he's a superstar yet. I'm still waiting for that next level from Devin Booker to make him a superstar. And when you get to superstar level, we're talking about people that will vote you into the All-Star game. You're nationally recognized as one of the best guard. You're in that best guard conversation right now. It's clear as day as who the best guard in the NBA is right now, and it's Steph Curry. And when he has games like he had the other night with 50 points and 10 assists, it always makes me think, when's Devin going to have that game? Because I feel like he has the potential to have that game. When is it going to happen? The 70 points in Boston Garden, that's one thing. Cool. I'm talking about now. On a good team against other good teams in the primetime games. I want to see Devin Booker take that next step to where any night he could have 50.
So is that just more offensively or like what?
For me, it's offensively.
Okay.
Like I want to see him just absolutely murder dudes out there. Okay. And ballers know, like when you see somebody like you just know like, oh, that dude's on another level. There might not be anybody that could guard him right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Steph has had so many of those games, whereas Devin hasn't had as many.
Well, it kind of goes back to what Steve Kerr said after that game. He's like, I'd like to say I'm surprised. I'd like to say that what we're witnessing here is history and amazing, and it is. But also, like, I've been watching this for the last however many years. Yeah. Like, it's not new to the people who are close to him, and that would be nice to be able to have that same feeling about Devin.
And Blaze in the chat said, "Hey, he got us to the finals. That's got to count for something." I'm not saying Devin Booker isn't doing what he needs to do. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying for him to go from star to superstar, there's another level. The NBA views Chris Paul as a superstar, and for whatever reason, it's because he's had some significantly great games, and he's been so dominantly consistent throughout his career. Booker has been consistent too, and he will get to that point. But because there's other guys that have those flash superstar games, it kind of buries Booker below the other guards in the NBA. When you see Klay Thompson go off for 37 in one quarter, when you see Steph Curry do what he does, or Damian Lillard drop 63 on a team in the playoffs or whatever, like those are the things that take you from star status to superstar status. And I know Devin Booker has it in him. I'm just waiting for him to do that of these games. You know
what though, Saul? My only thing with that is how much of what you're asking for from Devin Booker, how much of it is systematic? How many times we'll see him score 19 in the first quarter and then Monty freezes him out in the second. Like the other night, check Bookman at the 4-minute mark of the second quarter. And just look at Devin Booker's shot charts. Like he scores 30 on like 18 shots a night. Like he's not ultra aggressive and he's not going away from the game plan. And I just feel like I agree with you to an extent that, yeah, like that's going to take him to superstardom. But I also disagree in the fact that I don't think it's not that Book can't do that. I just think that the system and the style of play and the way they're asking him to operate doesn't lead to that right now.
Remember against the Clippers 2 years ago, I believe, 2 years ago, and he was just murdering Pat Bev. Right, he was going at him. He was talking shit. He was giving him the business. Like that kind of game is what I'm looking for. Like the game where he just destroys. Like he goes at Damian Lillard and destroys him. I want that game. And he doesn't need to score 50 for that to happen. I want to see that. I just want that game. Like selfishly, I just want that game.
I'm saying though, like game 1, Western Conference Finals, 41-13, and yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So phenomenal. But in that game, who was missing?
Chris Paul.
Yeah. Right. So I'm just saying the way we're built right now, I don't think we're built to see these 50-point Booker games.
I think tonight they might be with Shamet out though, because you don't have the backup, you don't have the coverage there necessarily. CP has been a little less aggressive offensively at times this year. I feel like I have a feeling tonight's that night.
I'm with you, Sal. I want
14 points because I said it, but
I'm with you, Sal. I want to see it, dog. Like I want to see the Devin Booker that I know is in there. I just feel like at this point in his career and the team he's playing for and the system and the way we play, I don't know what the hell Monty's doing. I mean, it's nice. I'm looking at the TV and I'm like, why is Monty treating Book like he's 100 years old? Like, why is it that Book is playing less minutes than CP? Like, why is it that Book comes out at the 2-minute mark of the first quarter and doesn't come back into the 4-minute mark or second quarter? Like, he freezes him out himself sometimes. And then it's like, I don't know, man. Maybe it's because he's trying to save Book and he's trying to keep his minutes down early. But there's days I'm pissed off. I'm like, Monty just stole a 35-point game, 40-point game from Book. Like, literally just did it. Like, the best defender in the NBA sometimes is Monty Williams on Devin Booker. As far as doing, no, I'm keeping it real. As far as doing the things you're asking for,
yeah,
those 45, 50 bombs, I mean, Monty holds him back so many times with the way he controls his minutes. And like the other night against Atlanta, dude, like he came in at the 5-minute mark of the fourth quarter in a game that we needed him badly. And my man Nate McMillan wasn't playing. Nate pulled Trae Young up at the 9-minute mark. Was like, Brody, get in there. Like go be Trae Young. And I'm sitting here and I'm waiting. Okay, I'm like, where's Devin Booker? And he checks in at the 5-minute mark. Yeah. We won the game, but if we lose that game, I mean, I'm going crazy on the post game. Like, so that's what I'm saying. I think the minute thing with Book drives me crazy a little bit.
Well, I think that's been a conversation that Suns Twitter has been having for a little while now, just kind of questioning what is the reasoning behind that strategy.
Oh, well, hey, that's for a whole another segment, and I don't think we have enough time to get into that.
No, we do not.
So we got a game about to tip. So, well, that's a topic for another day.
Absolutely. One final thing before we sign off. So we'll make this one a little bit more of a quicker topic, but the big man battle. With DeAndre Ayton now, you've got Yusuf Nurkic in there. How do you think Frank and JaVale will fare in this one?
Frank the Dream Kaminsky will dominate. He'll pull that dream shake out again. You're going to have the bench dancing. We'll party in the Cove post game. That's all I'm worried about.
More like a
Sal's face is priceless.
More like a dream malt is what it is. It's a little slower and a little thicker.
I do think the Suns will miss DA a little bit in that matchup because I do think DA has historically fared well in that matchup against Yusuf Nurkic.
Yeah, I mean he has, but he's not playing tonight, and I think JaVale and Frank will do a commendable job against Yusuf and
commendable.
So
ye of little faith.
Are you wanting me to say we're going to take a dip in the Cove tonight?
Yes, I want you to say it.
All right, we'll see.
All right, that's as much as I'm getting out of Saul.
That is all you're going to get. All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in to our PHNX Suns pregame show. As a reminder, we will be right back here on our YouTube channel right after the game ends. So be sure to come back and join us then. Until then, I'm Lindsey Smith. That's Saul Bookman. That's Espo. And joining us all the way from Jersey, Flex from Jersey. We will see you guys later.
Ahoy, hoy.